Have you ever heard of Ipoh? The city is the capital of Perak State in Malaysia. For sure, this place is not the one promoted by travel agencies, but we found here a special temple, and we decided to bring you there. In Malaysia, Buddhist and Hindu communities have their daily rituals and religious celebrations at the temples. Each temple has its own unique history and architectural designs, dedicated to their ancestors and holy deities. Today, Ipoh is home to almost 30 cave temples. Here is Ling Sen Tong, a beautiful Taoist cave temple located at the foot of a limestone hill. Even if it is one of the smaller temples of the 3 located in the area, we want you to know a little bit more about Ling Sen Tong. It is the most colorful cave temple in Ipoh. Ling Sen Tong was set up in 1967. However, its current vibrant design was done in 1983 when the temple was rebuilt. You're greeted by 2 dragons that line up the entrance into the temple. The Chinese dragon is represented with a snake's tail, dog's muzzle, deer's horns, lobster's eyes, lion's mane, and eagle's claws. Unlike the Western culture, the Chinese dragon is kind and wise. They are the guardians of the temple. Ling Sen Tong's garden is filled with multiple statues from Chinese mythology, Taoist deities, and characters from Chinese folklore. Look at the temple's colorful facade. It is featuring curving yellow roofs, red pillars, and blue walls. This is one of the famous deities among Chinese Buddhists, the god of beggars. Named Qigong, he defends the poor and weak. Indeed, he possessed supernatural powers, which he used to help the poor and stand up to injustice. Another figure of Chinese mythology, the 4-faced Buddha. He is the god of creation, mercy, and benevolence. He sits on atop a lotus leaf. We are now at the entrance of the Ling Sen Tong's cave temple. Sometimes described as China's indigenous faith, Taoism is an ancient religion and philosophy that emphasizes harmonious living with the universe. Taoists worship a wide pantheon of gods and deities, as you can see here. In this 2-story high temple, enter to pray or just offer joss stick burning. Blackened from all the years of incense burning, the ceiling cave is the perfect place to catch a quiet moment. The interior of the cave complex houses the main altar for the Buddha, goddess of mercy and great strength bodhisattva. Various praying altars are all over the temple. Indeed, you can find places to pray everywhere, in the area surrounding the buildings, the front complex, the internal complex, and even the roof. A memorial plaque dated 1995 and narrated the story of the temple. Its founder, who is shown in this picture, is buried here with his wife. We are approaching the altar dedicated to Gautama Buddha, the founder of Buddhism. Why do we find him in Ling Sen Tong? Simply because some early Chinese Taoist Buddhists thought the Buddha was a reincarnation of Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism philosophy. He has a counterclockwise swastika. This sign, printed on the chest, feet, or palms of various Buddha, is meaning good fortune, luck, and well-being. This meaning of the swastika is a far cry from Western associations of the symbol, which are largely negative. In this garden, you'll find the character of The Journey to the West, one of the 4 classics of Chinese literature inspired from real facts. It tells the story of one of Buddha Sakyamuni's disciples who was banished from the heavenly paradise for the crime of slighting the Buddha law. He was sent to the human world and forced to spend 10 lifetimes practicing religious self-cultivation in order to atone for his sins. Written by the Ming Dynasty author Wu Chengyan during the 16th century, this adventure novel combines action, humor, and spiritual lessons. The spacious compound is also home to statues featuring the 12 animals in the Chinese zodiac. On the roof of the temple, the 4 heavenly kings look on from the side of the hills. The 4 heavenly kings are 4 Buddhist gods, which originates from the Indian version of Lokapalas, each of whom watches over one cardinal direction of the world. They have each one a name and a function. Vaisravana, he who hears everything, protecting the north. Vairudaka, he who causes to grow, protecting the south. Dhritarashtra, he who upholds the realm, protecting the east. Vairupaksa, he who sees all, the king that rules over the west. This is the statue of Guan Yin, the goddess of compassion, mercy, and kindness. She is standing on a lotus pedestal, a willow branch in one hand, and a vase of pure water in the other. She is wearing a white flowing robe, symbol of purity. Guan Yin means, who observes all sounds of suffering in the world. Legends about Guan Yin first appeared in the Middle Kingdom more than 2,000 years ago. And now the major iconographic and statuary pattern of Buddhism, the reclining Buddha. He is ill and about to enter the nirvana. On his body still the clockwise swastika. There's Kaishen, the god of wealth or money. He is one of the most popular deities in Chinese folk religion. He is depicted at several ages, as here where he is older. Sometimes Kaishen is riding a black tiger and holding a golden rod. We are at the Fu Dog's door. Dogs are symbolized by stylized lions in Chinese Buddhism. They are usually going by two. They are protecting the building from harmful spiritual influences and harmful people that might be a threat. As you can see, this garden is almost an attraction park, with its statues as if they were coming out of a carousel. Tourists can take a picture with Buddha under the bougainvilleas. This is Nua, the serpent goddess. Taoists believe she holds the secret of the way of the true person. Another Taoist deity, Di Zhang, seated upon a lotus throne. He carries his symbols, the Sintamani, a wish-fulfilling jewel, and the Kakara, a ringed staff. He is wearing the robe of a northern Buddhist monk, and on his head is the 5 leaves crown. This is Shu, one of the gods of the 3 stars. According to legend, he was carried in his mother's womb for 10 years and was already an old man when born. He is recognized by his high domed forehead and a peach, symbol of immortality. He is the god of wisdom and longevity. On the walls, scenes with some of the 8 immortals in the Taoist pantheon. Lu Dongbin, the most widely known among the group of deities called the 8 immortals. Born during the Tang dynasty, AD 750, he attained immortality at the age 50. Depicted wearing a scholar clothes, a headgear, and holding a sword, he is the patron saint of barbers. He is well known for slaying and getting rid of various forms of evil on earth for more than 400 years. Elder Zhang Guo, a hermit with spiritual powers of magic. Always accompanied by a white mule, he generally rode it backwards. When he didn't need it, the mule was transformed into a paper, folded up and put away in his pouch. When he wished to resume his travels, he sprinkles some water upon the paper and the mule will appear at once. Ling Sen Tong means the rock of heavenly spirits. Whatever you may use to describe caves, there's definitely something awe-inspiring about these marvelous formations, carved out of nothing but the steady flow of water through rock for millions of years. The same sense of wonder must have gripped early Chinese settlers to Ipoh, who discovered the many untouched caves burrowed into limestone hills surrounding the area, and thought them fitting as tranquil oases for meditation and prayer.